Money down the drain. New research finding Australians are burning cash on expensive home and contents policies. Finance expert Michelle Maynard's here to set us straight. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Mon.
Mozo carried out this research finding Australians waste $572 million overspending on policies. Is this a matter of not knowing which policy is right for us?
I think it is. A lot of us take out insurance on our homes when we're first home buyers, and a lot of us don't look at it after that. The main thing that's done incorrectly with building insurance is people over-insure. They take out building insurance policies for the price that they paid for their home. Now, your building insurance is meant to replace the cost of rebuilding your home should something happen to it, God forbid, but the purchase price of your property takes into account the land. So if you've over-insured your property, you would be paying too high a premium. So that's the first reason people are paying too much. The second is complacency. We take out these policies, we don't review them, we get a renewal notice once a year and we don't look at it, and because we're not always reviewing that policy and shopping around, we're paying too much. So it really is key that we review our policies regularly. You
have already touched on this because almost a quarter of Australians have never reviewed their home and contents policy, and they could save on average $614 a year. It does pay to shop around, we know that, but what should we be looking at?
There are two things you really need to be looking at for when it comes to your insurance. The first and most important is to make sure you are adequately insured. For those that took out policies when they first bought their home, they could have undertaken substantial renovations which increased the value of their home. They could have replaced their contents and upgraded them. So you need to really make sure that you are covered for the level of the contents in a home that you have. So once you've determined how much you should be insured for, that's when you need to be looking at price. And I think a lot of people look at price first and therefore are making a mistake with possibly being over or underinsured. So there are some great calculators on the internet which first help you to determine how much of what level you should be insured for. Once you know that, then look at different providers and have a look to see what's the best price you should get that level of insurance for.
Because you don't want to be underinsured, but what you're saying, Michelle, is that a high cost policy doesn't necessarily mean that it is the best policy or the right one for you.
Absolutely, and also the lowest cost policy is not the best. You want to make sure that the level of insurance that you have is appropriate to you. So make sure also that you read the terms and conditions and the product disclosure statement, because that's what's going to cover you in the case of having to make a claim. So it should never be about price when it comes to insurance, whether high or low. Having a high cost premium definitely doesn't mean that you're going to have the best level of cover. The devil is all in the detail. So when it comes to building insurance, make sure it covers what it is that you've got. For something really interesting to know, carpets normally aren't covered under building insurance. They're actually a contents insurance policy. So you need to read that detail to make sure that if anything ever happened to you, you are actually covered. Again, once you know the detail of how much you're going to be insured for, shop around. There are a lot of comparison sites that do it, but price should never be your key motivator when taking out insurance.
Michelle, thanks for those handy tips.
Thanks, Mon.